Oh, man. Good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show. 1059 The Zone ESPN. BetMGM is the king of sports books. And the Beau Ravage's BetMGM Book Bar and Grill is the South's premier Vegas-style sports book. Visit a live betting window, self-service kiosk, or use the BetMGM app to place your bets on your favorite games, sporting events. The app offers free-to-play promotions, live betting options, boosted odds specials at your fingertips. Experience the action at BetMGM Book Bar and Grill, only at the Beau Rivage on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We welcome in our friend Michael Bratton, that SEC podcast straight out of Nashville. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Good morning, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, doing great, Bo. Always a pleasure to join your show. I've said it many times. I just say it every time. I've been a fan for over a decade here. Love your work.
Well, y'all are crushing it. And congratulations to you. Now, I did enjoy your ranking, your SEC power rankings this week, and the fact that you're trolling Alabama fans, ranking them 7th in the SEC.
I feel like that's pretty accurate, Bo. I mean, just because they ran right through LSU, like what does Nick Saban say? SHIT through a tin horn. I mean, that's what they did over here. But that's just because LSU's defense is pathetic. Brian Kelly, I don't know what in the world he did for 2 weeks when they were on the bye, other than counting his money, I guess. But I mean, LSU, they're a complete fraud on defense. And now, you know, I thought they were a fraud all season, and this is what it looks like when they don't have an effective offense. That's all LSU has had for most of the season is an effective offense, and when they don't have that, they got nothing.
Okay, so you've got Alabama at number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Texas, all right, for our listeners, Michael Bratton. Number 1, Texas. Number 2, Ole Miss. Number 3, Georgia. All right, how is Georgia number 3?
Well, last time I checked, they destroyed Texas, at Texas. So when they want to show up, which is I
rare,
guess it's once every month, when they show up, they can beat anybody. I mean, I don't have much faith in Tennessee to go into Athens and beat Georgia, but if Georgia shows up, they can beat anybody except Ole Miss, apparently.
Okay. Is it time to take the label off of Lane Kiffin? You called him Lane Whiffen when you joined us this summer because he had not had a signature win. And now he gets the signature win over Georgia. So now are we removing that name and it's no longer Lane Whiffen?
I got a new name for him, Bo. It's Big Game Kiffin. I mean, this is all this guy does is skin these juggernauts here. So, yeah, I mean, the way they were played on Saturday, especially that defense, I mean, they did it. I'm sure you made this point many times over, but I mean, they're doing this without Trey Harris, with a banged up running back group. They were one dimensional on offense, yet they just completely hammered Georgia, who is virtually everybody's picked to win the national championship. So about a couple days ago. So, yeah, I mean, I think Ole Miss could legitimately win the national championship. I'm not sitting here predicting that, but it wouldn't stun me if they did it.
Oh, so you don't believe that? You know, Carson Beck may be a shot fighter, my man. So you're not convinced that your Tennessee Vols can go into Georgia and win, even though they've been, they've been a roller coaster really since the Clemson game. Right. Georgia has.
No, Tennessee certainly can. Nico's banged up, so we'll have to see. I mean, if Nico doesn't play, they've got no shot because the backup is he's awful. He's a walk-on. But if Tennessee can run the football and they can get after them, I mean, I don't know. I know you watched the Ole Miss Georgia game closely, but I don't know. Again, I'm not a film guy here, but you see all these people putting out film, and it's like Georgia's offensive line is standing still. I don't know what in the world they were doing. And Tennessee's defensive line is just as good as Ole Miss's.
They are.
They have to show up here. If they don't show up, yeah, I mean, Tennessee will win and perhaps win convincingly. But, yeah, I like your comments about Carson Beck because I don't know what in the world is going on with him. I don't know if it's the money. I don't know if it's his
girlfriend.
Instagram girlfriend. I mean, I don't blame the guy. I'd be doing the same exact thing except
he's partying.
Production. Right. He's living the dream. So I think his NFL dreams are going up in flames.
Yeah,
but he's living the dreams this fall. So more power to him. But I don't even think he can save him at this point.
No, I mean, hey, look, he's 21 years old or 22 years old, making $50,000 a month, and you're right. You know, he's got this celebrity girlfriend, and I think he's just partying in Athens. But he's leading the way in turnovers too. It's crazy. We're visiting with Michael Bratton. He's got a show, That SEC Podcast. What time are you and Cousin Shane going on today?
Yeah, we go live every day at 6 Central, 7 Eastern, and man, it's a wild scene over here. We had to get delayed yesterday because Shane was driving back from Columbia, Missouri. He hit a deer, but that's just the kind of show we have. I mean, it's not scripted at all. It's literally there are no we do have sponsors, but they don't have any control over what we say and do, and that's kind of the way we like it. But yeah, we're a bunch of cut-ups.
Dude, so did Cousin Shane really hit a deer?
Yeah, his truck's he's got a big old F-150. He dinged up the side of it pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I hit a deer a couple years ago driving into the studio, actually, because I drive in early, you know, and absolutely drilled a deer on County Line Road. That thing flew 20 yards off. And I mean, it's not like I was in some big Ford F-150. I was in a Lexus SUV. And then my wife, Wendy, hit another deer in a 4Runner. So it's just been one after another, my man.
Those deer put up more of a fight than LSU's defense, I'll tell you that.
That's for damn sure. What is Brian Kelly going to do? I mean, he's going to be going on year 4. And now this year they're going to whatever in the hell, the Outback Bowl or something. They're not interested in that, kind of like last year when they went 9-3. And they weren't good last year. So what, I mean, I wonder what's going to happen down. They owe him a gazillion billion dollars on his contract. But you know this, Michael Bratton. I mean, they're going to be ready to go to the college football playoff sooner than later.
Right, and you know my talking point with LSU all off season, and it's come to fruition here, Bo, is just I think we're going to look back and say, I mean, as if we didn't already know, Jaden Daniels was just a generational talent, and he's showcasing that in the NFL, and that's I think the major reason that they've had so much success at LSU the last couple of years, and now that that's gone, I mean, I don't think enough people talked about it, Bo. Just that offense. It was just as good as the 2019 LSU offense, and they managed to lose 3 games. I mean, that should be written on Brian Kelly's tombstone, how he blew that. They should have won a national championship, but they were they were literally like in the 90s in efficiency on defense last year. Had that been in the 50s, they win the national championship. And at LSU, I mean, these elite players falling out of the trees, as Nick Saban says. I mean, how in the hell do you have that pathetic of a defense year after year after year? And Blake Baker's the highest paid not defensive coach. He's the highest paid assistant in the country. He's not even a top 10 defensive coach.
No.
So I don't know what in the world he's doing down there.
I don't know either, man. That's going to get dicey next year. They're going to have to flip the whole thing and get rolling. How many legitimate teams do you think in the SEC can win the national championship, Brad?
Texas, Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee. That's probably the list.
You don't think Bama can? You hate Bama.
No. You let me know next time you see Jalen Milroe throw the ball effectively. You know what I mean? They're going to have to do that to beat some of these teams. Am I wrong?
Okay, so he's not necessarily a refined passer. However, he's not terrible. I mean, he's like he's pretty good at throwing the ball, and he's a freak at now that he's healthy, right? You and I recognize that. He wasn't healthy in September. He got drilled.
Right.
Okay. And then their D-line's playing ball, man. I mean, I know Tennessee and Ole Miss, and I think Texas have D-lines that will wreck you. Dude, I'm telling you, I think Bama's coming around, my man.
Maybe. I do think they probably have the best coach, at least in the SEC, maybe the country, for what he's done.
Yeah.
But,
DeBoer?
again, it's taken a little while to get going here. So wouldn't it be wild, Bo? I mean, if they don't win at all, they might run his ass here before long, and he may be running an NFL franchise, Dallas Cowboys, in a year or two.
No. That'd be wild. Michael Bratton, that SEC podcast on the Out of Bounds show, his co-host Cousin Shane hit a deer on the way back from, where was he again?
Columbia, Missouri, for the Missouri-Oklahoma
Oh,
game.
God, that was wild, man. Talking about somebody on the hot seat. Brent Venables, next year could be dicey. Joe Castiglione, their AD, decided to give him a $50 million contract in June, they bid against themselves, which was brilliant. And
right. Do you have any idea what his buyout is, Bo?
Oh, Jackson looked it up. My producer a couple of weeks ago. It was like 40 million.
44 million.
44 million of the 50 million they put on the table in June. What are these people doing? You're not bidding against anybody.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. I mean, he was not going anywhere. He was in his second round of coordinators. And obviously had never played it down in the SEC. Why in the world did they give this guy an extension? We called it out at the time. It was nonsensical, and now they're going to have to bite the bullet, and it's $37 million next year. So, I mean, it's still going to be astronomical. That fire him now, fire him next year. I'd fire him now and get the wheels going on next year. But, again, I think they're too stupid to do that, and we'll just be firing up the hot board for the Sooners this time next November.
What about Auburn? Do you still have faith that? Yeah, I hear you laughing. Do you think that Hugh Freeze is going to go out and first of all, they're good on defense. Do you have faith? Oh, I can't believe I just said that word with you. All right, do you believe that Freeze can go get a QB and turn this thing around next year?
I have faith that he is stacking the roster for the next coach. I mean, he's doing a tremendous job doing that. When will that be? Not soon enough, because I don't understand why anybody in the world has this perspective that Hugh Freeze is a good coach. When has that happened? Because he beat Alabama twice, meanwhile losing to Vanderbilt twice in that same time frame. I mean, he's not even 500, Bo. Not even 500 as an SEC coach, and he's in 7 seasons, he's only been over 500 twice in conference play. So, he is the lowest of the lows. He's a scumbag, and he's great at high school recruiting because he can lie his ass off to all these players and their families. He can't do it to college athletes. That's why they struggle in the portal. No, I have no faith in him. And this has been even more of a disaster than I thought it would be. And I went on Jock's radio in the summer and says this is going to be an epic collapse. He's going to be on the hottest seat in the SEC in 2025, and they laughed at me, Bo. And now they're having me on every week to say, ask me what else I know that they don't know yet, because how could you not have seen this coming? He is a below average coach, and he thinks he can just fix any quarterback and make him elite. He's an idiot.
Yeah, Michael Bratton. Really loves some Hugh Freeze. He's got Bama ranked 7th in his SEC power rankings, so he decided to troll them all weekend. And, now we'll get to Florida, another team he doesn't like. All right, how did you and Cousin Shane run around Broadway naked last week when y'all saw the letter that Scott Strickland posted that Billy, what do y'all call him, Sunbelt Billy, is coming back for another year in Florida?
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, not only us, but the rest of the SEC that has to face Florida rejoice, because that's a tall tale sign that you got the wrong guy in there. You're going to start seeing Extend Billy T-shirts, I think, all across the SEC because he's a numbskull too. I mean, they're fighting hard. That's why they're giving him an extension. I can't believe this. This is when I grew up, Bo. I mean, Florida was the team.
Yeah.
Now they're the furthest thing from it. I mean, they are so bad, it's laughable. Yet now that we've seen these allegations against the basketball coach, again, I don't know. Just allegations. I hope he's innocent, but you have to believe that played a part because at least Billy Napier's not sending photos of his private parts to people. So I mean, he's far and away not the biggest problem there in Gainesville right now. I think he's a good guy. GPA's off the charts apparently. This is how we judge Florida football at this point in time, and the scoring streak. But we keep the scoring streak alive. It doesn't matter if we lose by 50 points, as long as we keep the scoring streak alive. Billy Napier's doing a hell of a job down there. You
got to love this. I mean, because you've actually got a good coach in Josh Heupel. Ole Miss has a phenomenal coach, and Kiffin. Let me go through here. DeBoer's unbelievable.
I think Elko's a great coach too.
Oh, I think Elko's really good. Michael Bratton, I agree, man. I think he's a dude. Looks like he chews tobacco 20 hours a day, but he's perfect for A&M. Kirby's an I know they just got beat, but he's fantastic. Sark, they've got a hell of a staff. He still worries me a little bit as a head coach. But so those are the guys, really. What about Shane Beamer? Shane's going to get an extension, Brad.
Yeah, he deserves one for what he's doing down there. I mean, if he was at a more of a football power, throw him at Auburn, throw him at Florida, throw him at LSU. They probably win a national championship at some point. But he's doing a heck of a job, and I've mocked his offensive coordinator hired Dow Loggins. I didn't think that was a good move. He's starting to show me some things. There was buzz over the summer that some people said this quarterback they got, Lenore Sellers, the freshman, that he's going to be an NFL passer one day, and saw him a couple times and about burned those contacts laughing at him so hard. But now it looks like they're the ones that are laughing, man, because he's only a couple starts into his career, and he looks like he could be a revelation. And by next season, he could be one of, if not the best quarterback in the SEC. He's got no weapons around him at the receiver position. So what they're doing, particularly their defense, is just phenomenal. They're not getting enough credit on that side of the football. But I know South Carolina's got 3 losses. They've just won 3 blowout conference games in a row, 2 of which on the road, Bo. They got 3 more games. If they Missouri and Clemson, if they blow both those teams out, which the way they're playing they will, you have to put them in the playoffs. No. I don't care that they got 3 losses. They're out. You go in 6 consecutive blowout wins, what the hell are we doing if we're expanding to 12? We're not putting in the hottest team maybe in the country. That's what it's supposed to be, the 12 best, Bo. It's not supposed to be the 12 best resumes. It's supposed to be the 12 best. Okay. I mean, I don't agree with you, but I love, you lobbying for South Carolina. Now they got to go to Clemson. So we'll see how. You're right. I mean, Lenoris got hurt earlier this year, and then he's come back. He's looked better, and that South Carolina D is strong. All right. Is there anything else I want to hit with my man Michael Bratt? What time you and cousin Shane going to start drinking this afternoon? Well, the show, like I said, starts at 6 Central, so we'll start probably around 4 Central is when we start drinking to kind of get the wheels going, so to speak. I love it. Hey, man, thanks so much for hanging out with us today, and thanks for trolling Alabama fans. Anytime. I appreciate you, Bo. See you, dude. Michael Bratton, that SEC podcast, his show's on fire out of Nashville. Cousin Shane, his co-host, hit a deer on the way back from Columbia, Missouri. So these guys are doing what it takes to continue to make the magic. And he trolled Alabama. I was laughing when he posted I don't even remember when he posted it, but it may have been Sunday morning. I'm not sure. I was up. My God, what was I doing? I was watching Giants Panthers. I mean, that's the life I have. I don't know. Anyway, I was also smoking a Rocky Patel cigar, thinking about how I interviewed Rocky Patel on Friday. That was kind of cool. I don't get many mornings, we got to get up here. And so every now and then on the weekend, I didn't drink coffee the first 40 years of my life. And
now I'm like, man, coffee and a cigar. I don't get to do it, but like once every 2 months. But damn, it's rocking. And if I smoke a cigar later today, I can't drink coffee because I've told y'all this. The way I'm wired, I can't drink coffee after 10 a.m. So, I already finished my cup this morning, and I'm out. But anyway, back to Michael Bratton posted his SEC power ranking. And I'm looking at it, and he's got Texas 1, Ole Miss 2, Georgia 3. He's got Alabama 7th behind South Carolina.
Yeah, he's tripping.
I mean, come on. But he's loving it. I get it. It's fun. He's a Tennessee fan. Bama owned Tennessee. Would they beat him 14 times in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, after Fulmer was done and they made all those terrible hires. I mean, my God, they hired Derek Dooley. And Jeremy Pruitt and some other dude. I don't remember who it was. Well, Lane, but that was only for 1 year, right? Lane wasn't bad. He wasn't good. He was that was kind of Lane trying to figure it out. He went 7-6 that year, but before going to Southern Cal. But they lost and lost and lost. And Saban beat them every year. And now they've beaten Bama 2 out of the last 3 years. Hendon Hooker, great name. 2 years ago, had an unbelievable game. And then this past year, they beat Bama. So they're riding high, baby. I've got a friend of mine who lives in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, who was part of the group that took some of the field goal posts out of Neyland 2 years ago when they beat them for the first time in like 15 years or whatever it was. Ole Miss took both goal posts down. Not 1, but 2. Are they going to sell that on the Grove Collective? Go try to get all the pieces and then sell them for $500 to $2,000 a piece. Break it up like into, I don't know, several hundred pieces.
What you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. Why not? Try to make
a buck.
100K, 200K, I don't know, whatever you want to make. I don't know if Ole Miss, I don't know who's one. Jackson doesn't like that Texas is being ranked number 1 in the SEC power rankings because of their schedule.
They ain't beat nobody.
So their best win is
Yep.
At Vanderbilt?
Yep.
Damn. Their best win's at Vanderbilt. And now they play at Arkansas and Kentucky at home. So their other best win will be if they beat A&M.
That's your best win.
That'll be the if that's an if.
That's an if.
That is not, because Elko and them are going to pin their ears back on that deal. That's going to be an absolute slugfest in College Station. Good grief. Elko's going to talk about how they're snobs and they look down at you. They're going to play their ass off.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. And don't forget that Fleetway Market has awesome blue plate lunches. They've got grab and go too. Fleetway Market, the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. And they have unbelievable catfish and turnip greens on Fridays. Thanks for listening to the show. The Rocky Patel interview will also be on our podcast coming up shortly.